The Friends of the Mountains to Sea Trails September 2014 Trailtown Conference offered an almost instant update on where the trail is heading.
Thank you all for being here. Where are we now? What is, sort of the status of the trail? If you were going to do the Mountains to Sea Trail now, what is it like? We're just about to make a big shift of the route. We've increased the length to 1,150 miles from the mountains to the sea. There's actually wilderness and also just a lot of wild areas. And then there are small towns. It also takes you through some really important historic sites. This is taken at Moores Creek Battlefield, which is a Revolutionary War site. There's 620 miles of trail that's complete, and 530 of that are built and maintained by FMST volunteers. We've created a back road route that people can use to make connections. If you added up everybody who's on the trail in a given year, that we're already at 1 million people. We want it to be a destination that people say, oh, I want to go to the Mountains to Sea Trail. These are the most famous people who have ever been on the Mountains to Sea Trail. That is the President Obama and Michelle Obama walking towards you. Most people who use the trail will be people who are doing day hikes, or thousands of people could complete this trail every year. We just really believe it's doable if we can make it easy for people to do it. And I think it's so interesting what people say. He said, thousands of people should be doing this trail every year. You just need to market it. It's wonderful right now. Surprisingly enjoy the road walking more than you would think they do. Scott Ward, he said the Mountains to Sea Trail is a people experience. When you hike the MST, you really know North Carolina. When we make it easy for people to find the information that they need to do it, more than half of the trail is complete. It's just to give you a sense of how much momentum is building. In the last 6 years, we've had 140 miles of trail open. The trail is a public-private partnership. As I mentioned, it's part of the state park system. Unfortunately, have no dedicated funding or staffing for the trail. And then us, the Friends. We're a nonprofit 501c3, 2 full-time staff, more than 1,000 volunteers around the state, and an annual budget which is about $350,000 a year. Issues that discourage people from hiking the MST. One is that people don't really know where it is. People think it's not complete, so I can't do it. You can do the trail now, and it's wonderful. Every long-distance trail is always shifting. How do we make it clear to people they can do it now? There's always that confusion. Where are you going to stay? Hike for 10 or 15 miles, and then what do you do? And then shuttles for one-way hikers. We are working on a complete trail guide. Carolyn, do you want to come up?
We've divided the current trail into 16 segments. And on our website, we have 3 segments completely done. Download this to get very, very specific directions. Our plan is to have 11 of the segments done by our February 2015. We're slowly but surely getting information that's available to anyone. And I'm now working on Deep Gap to all the way up to Devil's Overlook, not known at all by hikers. And it's absolutely stunning, and it's easy to walk. The towns of West Jefferson and Glendale Springs have a real opportunity here because they're close enough to the trail to take a benefit from it. And Joellen is also going to be going out for each of these segments and selling ad spaces, a B&B or an outfitter or a local place where they can stop and get a good meal.
It'll be something where you can order it and then it will be printed on demand. If we really want this trail to take off, we really need to solve that problem. One of the issues of the trail has been that if you're on the roads, there's no signage for the roads. There will be a proposal of how to do it. And the last thing I wanted to tell you about is the efforts that we're making to increase awareness within state government, the economic potential of trails in general. And we've been working with what we call the North Carolina Trails Coalition. We really felt there was huge economic potential in trails. And we thought, well, we'll go see the Secretary of Commerce and talk. So when we had the meeting in July, we actually had 4 of those secretaries there and then 2 assistant secretaries. It was just this extraordinary time. And so what we said was our goal is to make North Carolina be known as the Great Trail State. There are things that trails really do. They create jobs. It's a really great source of reliable tourism spending. increasing property values, and then recruiting and keeping business. You know, trails really amplify the economic impact long distance trails do. They serve not only urban areas but also rural areas. So we asked the secretaries to develop a plan, really concrete ideas about how all of these departments can work together with us. Those staff members have jumped in, and we have a final draft that we're going to take back to the secretaries next month. Now I'm going to invite Carol Tingley up, and she's going to talk to you about the master plan that State Parks is just undertaking.
I am so excited just about the fact that we're doing a master plan. It seems like it's been a long time, but you'll see a steady progress. And now we're up over 600 miles. Some people are ready to walk the trail now, so they need to have some kind of a bypass around the segments of the trail that are not finished. And so now we have a series of these regional plans that have been done in different years since year 2000. Kate suggested before we do that, we really need an overall master plan. And we agreed with that. We kind of unite those regional plans. Most of the master plan will be on the website. We will be able to communicate the status and progress of each of the various trail segments, and the clarification of the partner roles, and the identification of funding sources. Also, it'll be a good way to promote the trail. Things to help us work together as a whole state. To communicate to all the partners and stakeholders, and actually a way to capture that input. The big focus of the master plan is going to be completing those incomplete segments of the trail. We're committed to finishing this trail someday.
What are the main sources of revenue for the Friends?
Membership gifts and corporate gifts. That is our main source. The number of sort of grants from corporations and from foundations has been going up. The state runs what's called the Recreational Trails Program. It's federal funding, our bread and butter money for maintaining trails. If we really want to be the great trail state in the country, there's going to have to be additional funding. And state funding for trails has been dropping. It's really important to ask for additional funding. When we have that vision of what it is we're asking for, we will come out to you and say, we would really like you to talk to your legislators,
Until then, keep planning, keep hiking, and keep building the Mountains to Sea Trail.